we're gonna use some tinsel to unbox it. So we got all the colors. Which color do you want? We're going with this. This is such a fun activity to do with your daughter, your cousins, a birthday, all the things. It's super popular and people get so happy, especially when I put it on. They see the results and they get to pick their favorite color. Some will put just like one color, some will do two, whatever they want. It comes in this pack and I really recommend it. So first you're gonna need like a hair clip, this tool which comes in the package, the bead you put at the top and slide it down to the base. Then you are going to grab some of the hair and include that tinsel, and you're going to basically grab 2 fingers in between the loophole and pinch the hair through. Just a little bit of hair and the tinsel. You choose how much tinsel you want to use per section. And then this is the part that's going to take practice. I hold the bead with my fingers and then I pull the hair up with the tool, and that's how it feeds through the bead. Don't psych yourself out. You will get this. It's easy. It just takes a little bit of practice. Now, after the bead basically after you feed the hair and the tinsel through the bead, you then use this little tool that comes in the pack and you just squeeze the bead down and it holds it in place, again, without damaging the hair. So don't worry about that. Now you see it up close, the bead is now flat. So put your bead at the very top. The loop gets skinny, so that way you can just like bring it down to the base. Then you section out about this much hair with the tinsel. You're putting your fingers through that loophole, pinching the hair and feeding it through the loop. Now, I put the hair down on the side and I lift up the tool, holding that bead and pulling the bead down, and then I pinch it and pull the hair up. This is why it's so great to have this on video, because I'm trying my best to explain it, but you also can visually see it. Now I'm squeezing that bead with the pliers and it just holds it in place. It's super, super simple. Just be patient, give yourself time. Now, I already fed the bead through. I'm just pulling the hair. I move the hair to the side and I lift up the tool and I pull that bead down. I'm holding that bead and lifting up the tool so it pulls the hair through the bead. Then you just squeeze it with the pliers and it will clamp it down. It's that easy. Now the tinsel you will need to cut the tinsel at the ends because the tinsel is typically longer than people's hair length. So be patient, don't cut off any natural hair while doing this. I also will cut off the top part because it might pop up above the hair and you don't want that. So this is where I am very, very careful, and I will cut the tinsel above the bead. So you'll see me do it here. I make sure I just lift up the tinsel and I just snip it. So I'm just cutting off the very top. I leave like a tiny bit higher than the bead, and it just is easy to cut. You can put heat on this. You can swim in it. It lasts a really long time. Now, the tinsel isn't like super fragile or poor quality. However, don't just yank on it because it could snap. Like use your best judgment. Now, we're only going to put the tinsel on the sides, but I usually put it through the back We're just limited on time today. So I section based off of their natural part. Usually it's in the middle or off center. Everyone has a different part. So once let's say it's a center part, I will just do a little subsection next to it and lay it over the opposite side. And then you see me adding that clip to hold down the hair and hold the tinsel in place. Now, this is a teenager that I'm putting the tinsel on. So if it was like a younger kid that doesn't really sit still, I would grab smaller clips and clip them individually one at a time. Just a suggestion. Here we go again. We are basically just pulling the hair through that needle, pulling the bead down and through, clamping, locking it in. So grabbing your bead at the top, the loop actually does get really thin. Now the tinsel can last for months and months and months. Just don't go brushing your hair right on over the bead. You want to go under or below the bead and down. Yes, these can withstand some heat, so you'll be fine. Just, don't try to yank your tinsel out. It can break. Now, if you want to remove the bead, all you do is use those little pliers, and then the bead right now is flat. Once you flatten it, once you put it on, when you take it off, you're just going to go against that. So it will pop right open and you slide the tinsel out. It's really easy. The beads, I don't know exactly what they're made of, but they do come in different colors. So you want to pick the bead color that matches the person's natural hair as best as possible. So black hair, you want to use black beads. Brown hair, you want to use the chocolate color. There is a blonde lighter color, so you get the drift. Now I'm just cutting the tops off again, really, very carefully. And I will also trim the ends as well, because the tinsel is usually longer than the natural hair. And then I will bring over the hair that I put over the side and lay it right on top. So that way they have their natural part back and the beads are hidden.